as you've seen in the earlier example, data can be anywhere, and it can be unmanaged with proper information about whether it can be shared or not shared with certain people. And when it is released and we don't know to whom, it's very difficult for us to ascertain what challenges we have related to that particular release. In this demonstration, you're going to see an IT service management system, in this case, Jira, or it could be ServiceNow, with a TC Engine application that automatically will populate a current Box environment without any attribution for metadata, or a SharePoint environment, again, without any attribution for metadata, or a Google Drive environment, again, without any metadata about the files that are in these particular repositories. And we'll start with a Jira ticket. I'm just going to say create. I'm going to ask it to provide a trade control technology determination, whether or not it's export controlled information, and provide the classification for the items in this folder. We're going to go ahead and grab the folder link right here. From this folder link, you're going to copy that to the clipboard, paste that into our automated Jira ticket, and create a new ticket. We'll then do the same thing, simulating a user in SharePoint. We'll take the folder location, we'll create a new ticket. We will ask it to determine the technology for the items in this folder. We'll paste the SharePoint location we just copied. We'll create another ticket. Similarly, we'll do the exact same thing for Google Drive. We'll grab the folder for Google Drive. We'll go back to our ticketing system, create a ticket, ask it to classify the items that are in this folder, and paste the Google Drive location there. What's happening in the background is it's transferring these files using TC Engine native cloud technology, which is unique for each one of the applications you've seen. In other words, we've developed a specific onboarding application and technology mechanism to use our automated AI classification pipeline with Box, SharePoint, and Google Drive. In Box's fabric, it adds file tags and it adds metadata. In SharePoint, it adds columns. And in Google Drive, you'll see what we do once we get the file information updated. It's right now finishing up information in SharePoint and creating the columns there. And it's applying all the compliance data into Box. So with that, what we're going to do is simply refresh each one of these windows. And in doing so, it will, on its own, without any extra work from us, take the information that it's found through the AI pipeline and actually provide that classification information to the user that we asked for in the Jira ticket, because it's completely automated. When I hit refresh, you'll now see inside of Box actual file summary data. And in each one of these files, you're going to see advanced metadata. Inside this metadata template, you'll see that we have created some TC Engine specific iconography. This iconography allows us to follow a methodology that can be easily transformed in company policy, so that you have an icon for certain types of controls and whether a requirement for an export license or permit exists. And you'll see the classification information that's country and regime agnostic. In this case, this is representing a handgun 3D stereolithographic file, which is export controlled information, controlled in France by the Ministry of Defense in category 2B. Inside SharePoint, we'll do the exact same thing. We'll hit refresh. And what we'll see is all the column data expanded inside SharePoint, where it actually shows the AI summary information and our classification information directly in SharePoint's native file fabric using Microsoft Graph. Again, same iconography, two totally different file systems, two totally different mechanisms for handling rich metadata, and yet the same iconography and output can look the same. The reports in English, French, and German. That goes for the summary data and the AI prediction rationale. When we look at Google Drive, we see something very interesting. In Google Drive, we created something at TC Engine called a bound compliance panel. This bound panel, which is tied directly to Google Drive, you're not going to find it in any other window, and it's not going to go outside the window, gives us the same summary information, but it has very interesting capabilities because it's a space where we have control. So we can vary the opacity. We can pass information to underlying files. When we're using the panel, we can also do things like decide what language we want the results in, just French, just German, just English, or all of the above. Obviously, simple things like font size are also completely controllable, as is the window size within the window. And that window moves with my browser window. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this demonstration of TC Engine's automated AI classification pipeline. Thank you.